Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and this morning Brad Garlinghouse was on CNBC, and I think that if the truth were known, Brad Garlinghouse probably would tell them to piss off next time, because these guys, I mean, when I watched this, I was like, these guys, we knew they were Bitcoin maxis and trying to carry that Bitcoin narrative, but when you see this, I think you'll have the same takeaway I did. Listen to this. Here we go.
The 2021 edition of the Disruptor 50. These are private companies on the cutting edge of technological change. Right now, we've got an interview with the head of the company that's coming in at number 38 on this year's list, Ripple. The company uses blockchain to send money across borders for financial institutions, and it uses the token XRP to do it. Join us now, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. Brad, great to see you. Great to have you on today. Let's start just generally about the crypto arena and what we've seen, because there's an article today, Brad, about, I guess it's hearkening back to the colonial situation, pipeline and ransomware, et cetera. And the thrust is that we just need to ban crypto. And it's set forth, here's all the reasons. I think about everything that you've set up with blockchain and DeFi and how this can really effectively replace a lot of existing systems like Swift or whatever, and it really works well. Do you think that, I mean, what do you make of someone that makes that case, given all the blockchain infrastructure and everything else, not just around Bitcoin, but do you think that this toothpaste ever goes back in the tube like that because you can use it for ransomware?
Not sure I've heard the toothpaste analogy before. I'm going to steal that one myself. Look, first of all, thank you for having me. I think the question you're asking is a really important one. And I think it gets to the kind of core of sometimes just a misunderstanding about how these technologies can be applied in a way that actually is really good for businesses, for citizens, for just the community at large. And so when we talk about, like, should we ban something, let's make sure we understand what we're talking about. The way Ripple uses these technologies, as you introduced, is we can make cross-border payments, which are slow and expensive today. We can make them real-time, very efficient, very low cost, and that's good for the global economy. We can unlock trillions of dollars of kind of trapped capital to make the economy more efficient. And so blockchain technologies can be applied in a lot of really constructive ways. That's reducing friction, whether that be transaction costs, transaction speed.
Notice that the first offense is, notice that they call it Ripple on here, and they know that it's XRP. That's intentional.
Again, for Ripple, that's around payments. But, you know, I think to say, hey, let's just ban all this, yes, the toothpaste might already be out, and I don't know how you get it back in.
Yes, exactly right. Now, this is what really pissed me off right here. Look what they did, and then I'll let you watch the clip. They said, they quoted Brad Garlinghouse here, and then they quoted him again. Look at this quote. Ripple's sales of XRP to our customers is actually an investment contract. So they completely took this out of context to make it look like Brad Garlinghouse was saying that those sales are an investment contract, like in his opinion, when he was really just saying that was what the SEC was trying to say. Well, you watch for yourself.
Let's talk regulation, because Ripple is unique in certain ways in that you kind of control the amount of XRP that's out there and decide when it can be issued. And actually, the SEC took issue with that, so to speak, in that you might be more like a security than a currency, and that's still pending. So just talk in general about all regulation and how it might affect you and Ripple even differently than it would affect Bitcoin.
Well, I think what you're getting at the core really is, in the United States, there has been a lack of regulatory clarity. This is something I've been talking about even on CNBC for about 2+ years. In other countries, you have seen in the UK, Japan, Switzerland, Singapore, I mean, these are, G20 markets where they have invested the time and energy, either through legislation or rulemaking, to provide that clarity and that certainty. And that allows investors to participate, that allows entrepreneurs to build, that allows people to build companies that make the CNBC disruptor list. So here in the United States, we haven't had that clarity. I think, just to correct something you said, Ripple actually doesn't control XRP. XRP is an open source technology, very analogous to Bitcoin. In contrast, XRP is very efficient in terms of speed of transaction. It is a carbon neutral blockchain. So these are all examples of it being more efficient, but all of the XRP that has ever been created has already been created. So it's a zero inflation dynamic. But the core of what you're talking about around regulation, I think, is what we're experiencing here in the US with the SEC. The SEC is making the assertion that these are investment contracts, that Ripple's sales of XRP to our customers is actually an investment contract. And a security is something where when you buy it, you own part of a company. You have a right to the profits. You can vote on the board of directors of that company. All of those things that are certainly CNBC covers in depth. That isn't true with XRP. If you buy XRP, you don't have ownership of Ripple. And I mean, ironically, you actually have XRP owners who have tried to sue the SEC for even bringing the case.
All right, so it's very obvious what he was really trying to say. Okay, let's look at the markets. Our market is at 1.7 trillion, and we have an XRP that's at $1 even right now. This looks like Stellar's at 44 cents. So the market's been creeping back up. Let's look at what some of these technical guys say. Crypto Wizard says that XRP both closed with doji candles, whatever that is. Although XRP is still trading above 95 cents, the next major resistance target is $1.20. I'll be interested in intraday volatility tomorrow. And then Dark Defender, who I like how bold Dark Defender is. This guy, he says, "Hi there, I hope you are all fine. I made an assumption that XRP will be around $1.26 in a day or so. This was based on the new motive of Elliott waves, where you can find it below. We're in the third wave now. In early June, XRP is expected to be $2 plus." Now look what he says here. Math. 30 December, target 50 cents. 6 February, 72 cents. 16th March, target 133. He's got all of his tweets here. 19th April, $1.83. 26th May, 230. Then down here he's got 21st June, $9, $13. 21 September, $100. I like the sound of all that. Okay, so I thought that was an interesting tweet. Now, I want to make a point here before I show you this video. First, Gary Gensler was at Goldman Sachs for 18 years. So was Jay Clayton was also, through his law firm, I think, represented Goldman Sachs for a long time. Second point I want to make, you can't have the title and not have the responsibility. This is no longer Jay Clayton's lawsuit against Ripple. This is Gary Gensler's lawsuit. Gary Gensler gets the title of chairman, and along with that, he gets the responsibility. And I tweeted right here, my igloo in Georgia is still for sale if you believe this Ripple lawsuit is about anything other than power plays. No matter what anyone says, Gensler's the top dog. He could make this go away yesterday, but he did not. Nothing happens without Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. And this clip is Tim Draper. Tim Draper is one of the smartest guys that I've watched in crypto. Now, he's a Bitcoin maxi, but as from me asking him the question, he also is a holder of XRP. Okay, I think he's done really good with marketing of Bitcoin and all that. Now, so he is a Bitcoin maxi, but I am in line with the way Tim Draper thinks on just about everything. Okay, and I want you to listen to this clip. And what I got out of just listening to the full video was that Gary Gensler is a mega bureaucrat, and Tim Draper took him to school in this. But I want you to listen to this because Tim Draper lays out for you what is going on right now in this industry, and this is all directly related to what's going on with this Ripple lawsuit.
You mentioned Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share, and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs?
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
But what
feel the panic in their voices. But here's what always happens. First, the first thing that happens is they try to go, oh, it's nothing. And they did that. I mean, that's with every new industry, every new technology comes along, the powers that be, the incumbents, the status quo, all say, it's nothing. Don't ignore the man behind the curtain. This is nothing. And then all of a sudden it's too big to get in there. You know, they're going, oh my God, I got to face this thing. And then they all line up and they wrap their arms together and they say, we're not letting this happen. And then it keeps going. And then they say, okay, well, let's sue them. Or let's go get the government.
There's another thing they do. They adopt the technology. I think.
No, that's at the end.
They will adopt this technology.
No, this is the last thing they do. No,
yeah, it's like
it's after the press planning. They plant the press stories. They put out lawsuits. They create as much of a fuss as possible. They try to get their government friends involved. Ooh. And then they go, oh God, this thing's happening.
Wonder who Goldman's government friends are. Gotta wonder, right? Okay, and then this is Great Gatsby had tweeted this. My honest opinion on the Ripple case is the SEC knows it's going to lose. It never set out to win. They just want the rest of the world of business to know this is the digital asset they chose and they approve it through the legal realms. Now, I think that's very possible. I also think it's possible that it's what I said here. It's either this or an intentional temporary roadblock to Ripple by the powers that be. It's not about the SEC in good faith carrying out their mandate. I believe all the world's a stage, and I think that most likely what you're watching is a play and that Great Gatsby is right. Now, Jeremy Hogan weighed in on what had happened yesterday. The SEC is requesting more depositions and more documents. There's only one reason to do this. Your discovery to date has not given you what you needed, and what is most of the further discovery about? Yep, the fair notice defense. That defense sure does make the SEC nervous. For example, why does the SEC suddenly think post-lawsuit sales of XRP are important? Probably because those sales are the weakest fair notice sales since Ripple has been sued by the SEC already. Is the SEC starting to hedge its bets if it loses on the pre-lawsuit sales? Finally, based on this filing, I'm 90% confident that Garlinghouse and Larson have already been deposed, and they must have not given the SEC what it wanted, needed, and therefore the lion is hunting the weaker prey. Finally, I'm glad to see that Ripple is going to bring in experts and argue that XRP price doesn't correlate to Ripple's business activities, but instead to other cryptocurrencies. I really like that argument as to the Section 5 violations. Finally, times 3, in regard to settlement, I still believe the most likely time frame is after discovery in August, September. But settlement in a large case like this is a process and often involves applying pressure to get the last thing you want. This filing doesn't mean talks are not in progress. Okay, RizXRP sent me this. Now, this is interesting, and I'll tell you why. This was from Jeremy Lair from Circle, okay? He says, nice follow on energy-powered currency can end war and unite the planet, okay? Now, this article is talking about this in terms of Bitcoin, but since we know on this channel that Bitcoin and proof of work don't work, Bitcoin cannot be a world reserve currency. It's too slow, not scalable, all those things we talk about all the time. Everybody knows this. Even the Bitcoin maxis know this, but for whatever reason, they keep carrying this torch. But there is one that can be a global digital currency, not the, but a, okay? Now, let me tell you something I was told, and I won't say who told me this, but I was told this about 2 years ago now. Someone contacted me, and they said in so many words, and I don't know how they knew it or where they heard it, but they said that XRP was created to replace the petrodollar, and that it was created to prevent World War III, okay? This is what I was told 2 years ago. Now I want you to look at this, the energy standard, Ford's energy currency. 99 years ago, Henry Ford, one of the greatest businessmen of all time, planned the development of an energy currency to replace gold. Ford's goal was to end the wars, which he argued were centered around the control of money. The essential evil of gold in its relation to war is the fact that it can be controlled. Break the control, you stop the war. And then it goes on, under energy currency system, the standard would be certain amount of energy exerted for 1 hour that would be equal to $1. Mr. Ford proposes that this currency be issued only to a certain definite amount and for a specific purpose. In other words, you can only issue more energy currency if you put more energy in it. Okay, so this is more of this crazy cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs rationalization of these Bitcoin people, that Bitcoin is all this energy talk is somehow trying to be spun into something positive for them, when the truth of the matter is it's a disaster, and it's the truth, and it's the elephant in the center of the room. XRP was designed a long time ago to not use a lot of energy because those guys built the better Bitcoin. This is what the Bitcoin people do not want to face. But I want to parlay this into something else that I wanted to mention to you. Okay, now that we're talking about energy, just by coincidence, yesterday, Ripple tweets this out. Our strong momentum in the Middle East, because we're talking about energy, remember? Remember, we're talking about what the person told me. It was to replace the petrodollar. It was to prevent World War III. Ripple announces this yesterday. Our strong momentum in the Middle East continues with Oman's second largest bank, Bank Dofor, joining RippleNet to enhance the cross-border payments experience from Oman to India. Well, do you remember this? Because I've shown it before. This is Rachel Lee, July 28, 2018. If you ever thought that Ripple partnerships were just random, think again. And remember, this is Rachel Lee, who was one of these people that disappeared off of Twitter a year or two ago and kept saying all kinds of things that were very intriguing, almost like she knew something. If you ever thought that Ripple's partnership were just random, think again. We've pointed this out previously and do so again. Ripple's current partnership focuses on strategic interests, FX markets, oil markets, derivatives, not so much remittances as they make you believe. And look this is what I've never shown you. Look what is right below this comment by Rachel Lee. May 1, 2018, Bank Dofor becomes first bank in Oman to join Ripple's blockchain network. Bank Dofor has announced that it is the first bank in Oman to join RippleNet, Ripple's enterprise blockchain. Then it goes on and shows you others, okay? It talks a lot about oil in here. Talks about how they hired Miguel Valles, all this stuff. All the world's a stage, folks. Now, I wanted to show you this. This video is from this website, or this YouTube channel called Wealth Code. I just wanted to show you just a second of it. They did a really good little video on Flare, and I just wanted to play you just a short clip from this.
The Spark token, FLR. Spark, FLR, is the native token of the Flare network. Like other networks required for spam control to avoid congestion from useless transactions. Spark will be created through a utility fork whereby the origin network, in this case the XRP ledger, benefits through increased utility, with 100 billion tokens created at the outset of the Flare network. Beyond this, FLR can simultaneously be used in the network as collateral within decentralized applications, as a reward for providing data to an on-chain oracle called the Flare Time Series Oracle, FTSO, and to enable participation in the governance of the protocol. These functions do not compete with one another.
All right, I'm not going to show a lot of that, but I just wanted you to see that and know that you can go and watch this. It's a good video on Flare. Okay, and then Mr. B had tweeted this out this morning. Great read on tax loopholes for digital assets. The so-called loophole exists due to the fact that regulators don't consider cryptocurrencies to be securities. Instead, the IRS taxes them as property. So you can go, this is a CNBC article called Bitcoin Crash Opens Door to Tax Loophole for Investors. Interesting read. Now, speaking of taxes, iTrustCapital is one of my sponsors. If you need to roll a 401k to an IRA, you can roll your 401k in all of it or in part to an iTrustCapital IRA, and you can buy crypto and also gold and silver in this thing. You can get XRP, or not XRP right now, but you can get a lot of digital assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all those. Right now, you can also, you don't even have to have a 401k, you can just open an IRA there. I have links to this in the description of all my videos. There's 1 month off free, there's 1 month free, and I think they're still running their thing right now where if you transfer a 401k in kind, which means you don't sell any of what's in it, and you go in kind to iTrust, that they give you, I think they give you like 6 months free. So check it out. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family to check out iTrustCapital. It's iTrustCapital.com. Thank you.